Welcome back. We're back out in the great outdoors. We're standing here in this forest clearing with the star of today's video, the famous 70 square meter house built on notification. That government-backed 70 square meter house the Prime Minister is promoting so heavily. We decided we just had to build one for ourselves. Our client decided to build it, we designed it for him, and today we want to show you what it looks like. This is the stage where we'll soon be handing over the keys to the investor. There are still a few things left to do, as is typical on a construction site, but we'll walk around this 70 square meter house and head inside to show you what it looks like today and what the space is like inside. And then I'll tell you a bit about the cost of this investment, so stay with us until the end, and I invite you to take a closer look at this house. Let's walk over and see what it looks like. We often get asked about the facade options we offer. A common question is whether we can do a traditional facade like plaster. Well, today we have an example where we've combined plaster with a wooden facade on the front. We also have two side walls finished in plaster, and at the back there's a wooden facade, right? So, we completed this entire project ourselves. The client requested this design, so we built it exactly that way. Come with me and I'll show you the house in greater detail. We'll walk around the perimeter as we have nothing to hide, and we'll head inside and I'll cover the investment costs at the end. Also notice that the entire front facade has a lower section made of wooden cladding, which has been properly treated and painted. We have metal flashing on the corners to ensure the durability of the facade and prevent moisture from seeping in from the sides, right? And as you can see, the wall lights haven't been installed up here yet. We plan to show you this house once it's fully finished and ready for use. Every detail will be polished. That's when we'll show it to you. There will also be a large terrace at the front, but as you can see, we've finished the plaster facade. There's a strip here, and at the top we have the metal flashing again. And we also have this little drip edge bent out so that the water doesn't run down the facade, but instead drips right here onto the front of the house. So come on, let's walk around. I'll show you what it looks like. We're on a construction site, so don't worry about things sticking out or it being a bit dirty, because that's just how it is on a construction site. And so it's not like most YouTube videos where everything is polished. This is just what it looks like during construction. So it's good for you to know what construction actually involves. Even though you won't be the ones doing the building, we will, for example. Well, since it is a construction site, there is bound to be some plastic sheeting and various items lying around. If you take a look right here, you can see that the entire wall has been finished in plaster, just as it was in the original design. It turned out quite well, and there is an outdoor tap for the garden. We have also left an electrical outlet right there. We will install a valve so you can hook up a hose and water. Whoops, I just fell in, but that is perfectly fine. I will be sure to watch my step from a knife from now on. Let over move on. Cameraman, watch out so you do not fall into any holes. Just some mole holes. That was definitely a trap, but I made it out in one piece. Now take a good look at the back of this house. We have a gutter running along the entire length here. There's a downspout, and this hole is likely caused by erosion. There needs to be some kind of drainage here set up so the water flows away instead of undermining the building. We have a bathroom window, which is also properly finished, and here is the exit from the living room. This is the living room window. We'll show you the view from the living room a bit later. We also have the electrical box, the power connection for the whole house. Right here is the main pipe serving as the primary drain, so it's likely it will be fully enclosed and fastened securely. We've got vents 1 and 2 on this side. It's also solid, so it will be secure. The owner will be setting the alarm and won't have to worry. So let's head over here. Let's get a shot of this facade from this side so you can see how it looks along its length. I'll tell you, this is this 11.5 meters long. Take a look at this particular wall right here. I honestly think it looks quite impressive and stylish. And over here we have another wall that has been finished with a smooth layer of plaster. This wall here measures exactly 5.5 meters in total length, and there is a small window that opens up from one of the bedrooms. You might have also seen this little house back when it was still sitting in our workshop in one of our shots, so I would encourage you to go back and see what it looked like before it arrived here and got, let's call it, its first proper life. Back then it was still very much in a completely raw and unfinished state. There was OSB on these walls where there is now plaster, and the spot was finished with plaster, and it all blends together nicely. I'd also like us to take a look at the full length of this house, show what it looks like and how it's finished. Let me know if you like this solution, and write in the comments how you would have designed it. Would you add any standing seam metal elements somewhere, or would you mix the plaster and wood differently? We would truly love to see many more variations like this one to provide us with some inspiration for the future. Now why don't we go ahead and make our way inside. There will be a terrace and a step. It's quite high for now, but that's fine. And before we head inside, we have now we have the entrance hall at 5.5 square meters. There's room for a large wardrobe. It leads to the living room and kitchen with plenty of space to hang coats, sit and change shoes. Here we have the bathroom. The bathroom is also 5.5 square meters. When we walked in, we were like, wow, it's quite big. There's space here for the water pump, the water heater, and the plumbing for the vanity. We've got a bathtub, and here some kind of bathroom furniture will probably go, where you can keep towels or other things. And we've got the toilet. Also a spacious bathroom. There are electric mats, so it will be heated by them. There will probably be a small bathroom radiator as well, for comfort in the winter. Let's head inside, and here we have a full 31.5 square meters. So this is the living room combined with the kitchen. We've already got this patterned glass ready here. It'll go between the countertop and the kitchen cabinets, and I suppose this is where the spices will go. Here we have the space for the sink. Then there will probably be a stove, some counter space, a pretty decent sized kitchen. And while you're prepping spices, you get this view out the window. When I look at that camper parked over there, I have to say we definitely prefer living in this lovely house instead of that cramped camper. I truly hope our hosts enjoy living here much more than there, because I suspect that is just their temporary vehicle for the time being. Wóz rekreacyjny na dzień dzisiejszy. Now let us move to the exit, leading from the living room. Soon there will be a terrace here, providing direct access to the outdoors. We originally entered from that side over there. Please take a moment to look around and see how it looks. It is quite nice and perfect for year-round living. The space is 31 square meters. A dining table will likely go here. You can move it out to the terrace. There will be a sofa. A TV will be positioned somewhere here. The necessary hookups are already in place. 31 meters, 31.5. I think it can be easily arranged in a great style, and so that it's very comfortable to live in. Yeah, we have another room, and these rooms are 7.5 square meters each. They are identical, so we have one small room. We are still waiting for the sockets and lighting here, and then we'll be able to move the furniture in. A view from the window. We're surrounded by forest the whole time, so no matter which window we look out of, we see trees and woods. We're close to nature. I have to tell you, when we arrived and got out of the car, it felt really pleasant here on the investor's property. And here's another similar room. We also have a nice view from the window here. Off the woods. Pretty cool. All right, but we keep talking about how great it is and how you can customize it to your own needs, but can we afford it? That's probably the next question. Let's move on to see how much this investment cost the investor, because we have the data, so we'll show it to you. We'll also head outside and show you what it looked like there. All right, but how much did all of this cost? We have the data, so let's analyze it. A plot of land here a dozen or so years ago cost 20,000 for 1,000 square meters, which is 20 zlotys per square meter. Of course, one day you wouldn't be able to buy it for that price today. Today you have to count on a cost in the range of 100 to 150,000 per square meter, and that gives us a total of 100,000 zlotys for a 1,000-meter plot. And here is the house you see behind me. It's 70 square meters under a building notification. Inside it has 57.4 square meters and it costs 353,000 zlotys, which is what our investor paid. Of course, there will also be a terrace. The entire house is practically turnkey. Yeah, you just need to bring in your furniture and you're ready to move in. The price per square meter of usable space for the house itself is 6,150 zlotys. That's the gross price. And on top of that, we have the plot. If we were to value it at today's prices, because if we use the prices from 15 years ago, I realize that would be a bit misleading in terms of valuation, but we are valuing it as if we were building today, because we want to give you a picture of what it looks like currently. So we add another 100,000 for the plot to those 353,000, and we have 453,000, which gives us a total investment of 7,900 zlotys per square meter. We're talking about a turnkey house here with a terrace, a plot of land, and everything you saw through the windows. We also want to compare this to a studio or a small apartment. And it is generally difficult to compare these conditions to a typical city lifestyle, but let's break it down. If we look at the numbers, we pay 7,900 monthly compared to a similar apartment in Warsaw that costs 12,000 to 13,000. So doing the math, we are at roughly 60% of that total cost for the amount you'd spend living in Warsaw, and we live a bit further out, obviously. It's a half-hour drive, but what a setting. Come on, look around, see what's going on here. You can head out every morning. It's still mushroom season, so I'm heading out to pick some soon, because I'm a fan, and you take a look at how you can live in these conditions. As a viable alternative to everything that the current developer market and those cramped apartments in big cities have to offer us. So I am currently heading off to the next location to film yet another detailed comparison for all of you. Please do let us know what your thoughts were on this particular episode, and if you are currently in the process of deciding between city living versus living in a house, and whether you would ever consider moving into a house just like the one featured in this video. We are going to show it to you one more time. And please make sure to subscribe to our channel, as we will be sharing much more in-depth content with you from now on. We will see you next time. Goodbye for now, everyone.